And it's time for another PulseWave report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com. All right, so let's get this done fast and furious. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend on it, so we're going to knock these out here and right now. First and foremost on the screen is the GBTC ETF. That is the one that follows the Bitcoin. And as you can see right here, we have a crash alert for tomorrow's trading on the GBTC. Trend line support down here is your initial target. All right. The next thing we have up here is crude oil futures. I normally give it a day or two after the contract rollover, but right now you still have a bullish bias in the market. And here's your rally alert. And here is your upside production. So I'm still calling crude oil higher in the short term. Looking at the Russell My Hustle, we have a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. All right. Trend line support down here, 1600 is the initial target on that. Next up, we have silver futures. All right, so the silver futures right now, we still have a bullish bias with pullbacks being bid in the market. We still have that rally alert, which we've been getting upside production. And you can see it's kind of consolidating up here. But I think at some point, we're going to come back up here and test the top of this Kumo cloud. But time is of the essence. We need to do this rather soon, or we could find the silver rolling over. Taking a look now at the Dow futures. Dow futures, we came into today with the crash alert. Finally got that downside production toward the end of the day. 28,000 down here is the trend line support, and that is the initial target on the Dow futures. How about the Australian dollar? Australian dollar came in here today with the crash alert. We got downside production there as well. Trend line support in the bottom of the Kumo cloud is our initial target zone for the Aussie. What about the mighty Bitcoin Futures Composite Index? Nothing has changed. We still got the bullish bias in the market, even though it's elongated now. Here's your rally alert back here. Now, nothing but upside production. So still calling it higher like I did in last night's video. I told you that that's what I see. It is what it is, what it is. All right, we're calling it still for the bulls, pullbacks being bid into the market. You got a bullish bias. How about that? The euro dollar, still the same thing as you can see here. All right, back to back. You had this little spike, pull back in the close, spike, pull back into the close. Having a hard time up here. The bearish bias is real. Selling rallies is real. Looking like it wants to get ready to roll over and drop below that trend line support. Well, what about the euro yen? Well, here's your rally alert back here. Here's your upside production. We've dropped officially below the trend line support, which is now acting as trend line resistance, but we still got a bullish bias, meaning that all pullbacks, still get bid right back up again. So really, you're just trading in this zone of this bar right here, which is your first reflection bar, and we're just trading inside of that. And right now we're testing the bottom of it. So I think at some point it'll come right back up, test the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So I'm still riding with the bulls for now until that pattern is broken. What about the British pound? Well, the bears still have it. All right. Rallies still being sold. Notice how here was your first crash alert back here. Here's your a test of that, the high of that bar, 133.12. Here we had 133.13. You came within one tick, one pip before pulling back. So looking like the bears, like they like this. They like this selling of the rally here. So that's what I'm looking for, to test back down to the Kumo cloud, the top of it, and maybe into the trend line support. So that is your profit objective zone on the downside for the British pound. Now, as far as nat gas, I'm riding with you on the gas. We came in today with a rally alert, got that upside production, bulls still in control. But we are having some issues here at the 270 level. That's overhead trend line resistance. We dropped back down below that trend line resistance on the close. And we got that bearish weekly trend momentum reading, so that could be adding a little bit of pressure here. Tough to say right now, but I do think that we still have a good chance to get another test run up here. But we'll be prepared for whatever happens either way. We'll be prepared if the thing reverses on us again and we get downside production like it did back here. We had 2 bars. Right now we're at that 2 bars. There's a high probability we could drop, so I'll be watching that closely tonight. Follow your PulseWave reports to know how to respond to that. All right, here is the Ethereum ETF, the ETHE. Crash alert for tomorrow's trading. Looks like we're going to drop back below the trend line support, and that's would put this below 60 on the Ethereum ETF. All right, here's SLV, the silver ETF. All right, you can see just like the silver futures, here's your rally alert. Here's that upside production. Having problems around here, the trend line resistance, but it's still the bulls in control with pullbacks being bid, and we got a bullish weekly trend momentum reading. So until that pattern is broken, I got to still ride with the bulls on that one. All right, here is the GLD. This is the gold ETF. Kind of looking like the SLV and the silver. If you take a look at this pattern here, so bull still in control for now. I know we're under the trend line resistance right now and dropped out of the Kumo cloud, but you did so back here, and it was bid right back up, and you did here, and you bid it right back up. So until this changes, we're still sideways to slightly higher, and the SLV and the GLD. How about SPY? Well, this is the E-mini S&P 500 ETF. We came into this with a crash alert, and look at the downside production that was received. Trend line support down here. South of 345 is the initial target on the pullback move. How about the QQQ NASDAQ 100? Likewise, came into this with a crash alert. Here's your downside production. Trend line support around the 280-ish level is the initial target for this move. All right, what about bonds? We haven't looked at the TLT in a while. Well, here's how the TLT has been managing. It's been managing below the trend line right here. Resistance, bears still have it. You had look how long the bears had this selling rallies. Now you flipped to you had a rally alert, and look at all the upside production you've been producing from there. Bottom of the, the trend line resistance around the 160-ish level, where it intersects with the bottom of the Kumo cloud is your initial target for this move. Will it get into the cloud? It's tough to say. As the bond price falls, the yields rise, but because the Fed's in here controlling and manipulating the market, anything goes. Definitely follow your PulseWave report on how to handle that. All right, this here is from the ASX, and the ticker is QCB. It's an ETF. It's a Beta Shares Commodities Basket ETF. And I did add this one to the ASX report. So in the next ASX report, you should start seeing this one. All right, here was your crash alert here. You didn't get any downside production, right? All the market's doing is trading in the inside of this bar right here, the one you got before the crash alert. So we're 1, 2, 3. All right, so you have 4 days. So that means tomorrow the market should drop and come down here to test the trend line support. If it does not, then we're probably going to flip-flop back to a bullish situation, and the market could rally. You just never know. This is one of those situations too where you just got to follow the PulseWave report to know how to handle and what to do with that. All right, next we got Facebook. So you can see bears are still in control of the Facebook. Here is your crash alert. Here's all this downside production. Here's your bears pointer below the trend line support, and that's where we seem to be headed now. The trend line support is the initial target, followed by the top of the Kumo cloud and then the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So this one still has the potential to drop further on the Facebook, but you just never know. It's going to be contingent on whatever the NASDAQ futures does, to be quite honest with you. Here's Hack. We haven't looked at Hack in a while. Here's how that's been doing. So you had your top here. This was your crash alert. Got all this downside production. Then you reverse, got your rally alert, got all this upside production. Then came the crash alert, got this downside production. Flipped again, rally alert, got this upside production. Now you're going back to a crash alert. Trend line supports your initial target and the top of the Kumo cloud. This one has the potential to drop below that and fall off of a cliff. So it's saying basically that we may be out of the woods temporarily for false flags. You can see how it rallied up though here during the election. That's where you put in your bottom. You put in your bottom around the election time, right? The bottom came on October 30th. But look at that. November the 2nd is your rally alert. November the 3rd, your election. The 4th and the 5th. All right. So you rallied all during the November presidential election. You rallied. You even gapped up. Whenever this market rallies, it's because of fraud. It's because of cybersecurity threats. It's because of false flags. This is when your key Illuminati index stocks. It rallied during the presidential election, ladies and gentlemen. That is not by accident, because they knew what they were doing, messing with the election. All right, there you go. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here in color in your face. This ETF hack rallies when there's improprieties. It rallies when there's situations going on. Normally cyber situations, hacking situations, false flag situations. This is what this is. You ain't gotta like it, but you do need to acknowledge it. All right, next we got people been asking about real estate. Let's take a look at the IYR, one of the most famous real estate ETFs. This one primarily focuses in on the commercial side of things. But look, we got a crash alert for tomorrow's trading in IYR. The $82 handle is the initial target. That's right where your trend line support is in the top of the Kumo cloud. I know this bullish pointer was here, but look at this failure run. This is a failure run test of the pointer. Could not take it out. Then you got this crash alert. So this is pretty telling as far as what may be happening here in the real estate game. And you got gappage back here that needs to be reconciled. And you got a gap back here that needs to be reconciled. What you gonna do with that? And then way back here, way back yonder, all right, way back yonder on May the 18th of 2020, you created another gap that has not been reconciled. And that gap, ladies and gentlemen, is below the $71.33 handle. This thing needs to drop below 71.33 to satisfy the gap back here. And today we close at $85.15. That's quite the drop. So I think that is where we're going to go. And you got this bearish pointer back here as well, created on May the 14th of 2020. Yeah, there you go. That should answer your questions about the real estate game. All right. How about this one? If you're still not sold on it, what about Caterpillar? We came into today with a crash alert, didn't get any downside production as of yet, but you created a bearish pointer, which failed to take out this prior bullish pointer. So you got a bullish pointer here that failed to take out this one. So again, that's signs of a top, and you got the gappage back here. And I would have to say that the trend line support of $160 is in play now on the Caterpillar side of things. Moving right along, we got the E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. All right, so you see we came into today with a crash alert. We got that downside production. Trend line support around the 3,400-ish is your initial target for the downward move. And next up, we got gold futures. We looked at GLD earlier and SLV, and the patterns are the same. Gold futures, silver futures, GLD, SLV, same situation here. Bulls under control. All pullbacks being bid right back up, but you're moving in a sideways fashion. Overhead trend line resistance at 1900 on the gold is a problem. If we don't do something fast, this market could drop. So you got to remember that, okay? Got to remember that. And last but not least, the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. Here it is. All right, here's your crash alert. Here's your downside production starting. Trend line support around 11,500 is your initial target on this pullback move in your NASDAQ 100. All right, let's see what else we got here. I see your recos. I see you. I see you. Let's see. Bank of America. You want? Oh no, this is Boeing. Okay, Boeing. You want to look at Boeing? Let's see here. What's up with Boeing? You know, Boeing is on that Illuminati index also. All right, let's see here. We got a trendless market. See the ticking time bomb, the lower right-hand corner. That's a ticking time bomb. Got a crash alert, you guys, for tomorrow for this one. There's a gap down here that needs to be reconciled around the 185, 190 zone. Got another big gap down here. So I think the market has to pull back to at least 160 to satisfy said gappage. Trend line supports around 170. So you're looking about $10 south of the 170 trend line support as your secondary target. All right, so that's what your Boeing is looking like. All right, last but not least, you want to see SVL on the ASX. Let's see here. All right, this is Silver Mines. All right, and okay, so here's how this looked. Your initial crash alert was here, and you've gotten a little bit of downside production so far, and it's right there at the trend line support and the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So it's a possibility we could drop outside of the Kumo cloud. Right now, you're just bouncing. You're just playing the resistance support, like back here, boom. Then you rally back up, then you come back down. So it's kind of just going like that, you know, trying to stay within the upper and lower, you know, supports within the Kumo cloud, moving sideways. You do have a big bullish pointer right here. It says at some point it may break to the north, but you can't really hold on to that because, you know, the longer this thing moves sideways within this Kumo cloud, it builds up a lot of energy. So this is one of those I have to say too, you got to watch and follow the report and just do what it says on there, and you should be all right. All right. And that's about it, folks. I think we have done it. I did mad charts for you, even though I was in a hurry tonight. I didn't want you guys to miss out and miss what the market is telling you. This is one of those times, though, I got to tell you, got to go to PulseWaveTrading.com. You can't play around anymore. Take advantage of the quarantine discounts we have. There is a coupon on the website, PulseWaveTrading.com. You type in the coupon and you get the ridiculous discounts that we're offering right now, because our job is to get you in these markets and trading and making as much profit as possible while you still can. All right. And you know what it is. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.